Hello everyone, welcome to another session of D&F block elements. In this part, we will talk about lanthanum and lanthanoids and about their properties. Begin. Inner transition elements, also known as F block. So, inner transition element series consists of lanthanoids. That are the 14 elements which are filling their 4f orbital. Same way, actinoids are another set of 14 elements where they are actually filling their 5f orbitals. Okay. So these are the ones which are following lanthanum, hence we name them lanthanoid, and these are the one which are following actinum, hence the name actinoids. Now, lanthanum closely resembles the lanthanoids. That is, they all have same or similar properties. Also, you can note that they have one stable oxidation state. So what we do based on this, we actually use a particular symbol, that is Ln, okay, which is used for entire lanthanoid series. Now, actinoids are much more complicated to study, which we will discuss in the next session. So, actinoids, note down this part, it's important that they have a lot of problems in their study. And why it is that? Because they have wide range of oxidation states. Okay. Also, they are actually radioactive in nature. So ultimately what happens is you are not able to create sufficient amount of sample in the lab and you are not able to study them. Hence, let's say not much is known about actinoids. Now, talking about lanthanoids in more detail, let's start with general electronic configuration. So all these atoms or elements, they have an electronic configuration with 6s2 common, but variable occupancy 4f level. So it will be 4f from 0 to, let's say, 14. Okay. The electronic configuration of all the tri-positive ion, that's the most stable oxidation state of all the lanthanoids, are of the form 4Fn. N can be from 1 to 14 with increasing atomic number. We will see the electronic configuration now. You can see these are the atomic number starting from lanthanum, the entire series, and these are the symbols, no need to remember apart from few. You should remember 64, that is gadolinium Gd. Okay, its electronic configuration is important. So the first part you can see here, this one is the normal electronic configuration, that is of the element. Then this here is the most stable oxidation state, that is Ln3 plus. You can see the symbol on the top, Ln3 plus. And here are the radii which are mentioned. Also Ln4 plus exists, Ln2 plus is also there. Okay, so just a note, remember the electronic configuration of lanthanum, uh, gadolinium, and 7071, that is ytterbium and lutetium, Lu. So only these four you should remember, can be come in your exam. Next, atomic and ionic sizes. We know as we go along the series, okay, along the 4f filling orbital, the atomic shell, or let's say the size of the atom, reduces. See, this is all the ions are there, so all the ionic radii are having a decreasing trend. Now, this is also known as lanthanoid contraction. Okay. So, lanthanoid contraction we have discussed, it's basically decrease in size of all this, and it is actually because of the poor shielding effect. So, there is a regular decrease in the atomic radii of M3 plus ions. Why this is happening? Because of the imperfect shielding of one electron by another in the same subshell. Also, note that the shielding of one 4f electron by another is less than 1d electron. Why it is that? Because let's say that 4f is actually a bigger orbital as compared to d. Okay? So all this gives rise to a contraction in the atomic size that is known as lanthanoid contraction. We have already seen its effect when we were talking about ZR and HF. Okay, you can see this is second series of D block element, and this is the third series of the D block element. If you see, the sizes are not so different. Okay, they are not so uh, different, as in, like, if you talk about Zr and HF, they are actually having almost the similar atomic radii. You can see zinc Zr 160 picometer, hafnium HF is 159 picometer. So there is not much difference. Now this is due to lanthanoid contraction. Okay, next, oxidation state, as already said in the previous slides, that they are actually stable at +3 oxidation state. Like, most common and most stable oxidation state is +3. So in lanthanoid, you can write lanthanum La3. La is the symbol for lanthanum, whereas for all the lanthanoids we represent Ln. So Ln3 are the predominant species. Also, they show +2 and +4 ions, which we have seen previously. I can show you again. This is +2 and +4. They do show +2 and +4, but the most common is +3, the middle one. Okay. So occasionally +2 and +4 ions in solution or in solid compounds are also obtained. In this irregularity, why it is there? Obviously, because of extra stability of empty and half filled or fully filled F shells, F subshells. Because we know that half filled or fully filled orbitals are more stable as compared to partially filled orbitals. Here also, I have highlighted the ones which you should know. As I said, atomic number 57, 70 and 71 should know the electronic configuration. So noble gas and then this, noble gas and then this. Now, general characteristics, note that all the lanthanides are silvery white soft metals. They tarnish rapidly in air. The hardness increases with increase in the atomic number. Okay. Samarium being steel hard, that's as hard as steel. Their melting point ranges from 1000 to 1200 Kelvin, but samarium melts at 1623. Also, they have typical metallic structure and are good conductors of heat and electricity. Next, many trivalent, meaning they have the valency 3, so +3 oxidation state. So many trivalent lanthanoid ions are colored. I've already discussed why the ions are colored. It's because of 4f electron transition. And they are colored both in solid state as well as in aqueous state. The color of these may be attributed to the presence of F electrons, which are doing transition in F orbital, F subshell. The lanthanoid ions other than F0 type, that is La3 plus, Ce4 plus, and F14 type, are all paramagnetic. Okay, there is no diamagnetism. Only F0 type and F14 type are diamagnetic in nature because they are actually having paired electron. So paramagnetic rises to a maximum and then again it decreases. The same trend that we have seen in the transition element. You can remember the formula of spin only, that is mu magnetic moment is equals to root 4 of n bracket n plus 2, where n was the number of unpaired electrons. Now, this is very important figure. Okay, the lanthanoids, okay, Ln, the general symbol, with acids gives H2. With halogens form a compound LnX3, because we know that lanthanums or lanthanoids, they have +3 oxidation state. With water, LnOH thrice plus H2. With carbon at around 2500 degrees Celsius, LnC2. With heated with nitrogen, they form Ln. Heated with sulfur, Ln2S3. Burns in oxygen, Ln2O3. These are the general reactions which are followed by almost all the lanthanoids. If you remember this diagram, you can write down all the equations and reactions of lanthanoids. So take a minute and analyze all this. You can go through the theory part here as well. Some of the uses. So the best single use is in the production of alloys. Okay, that is also alloy steels for plates and pipes. Also, note that there is one very well-known alloy that is mish metal. That is actually lanthanide metal. That is 95%, 5% iron, and there are some traces of sulfur, carbon, calcium, aluminium. So this one is actually used in a Mg-based alloy to produce bullets, shells, and lighter flints. So just have a note the importance that lanthanide metals 95% they are used to produce bullets, shells, and lighter flint. Lighter flint is the one that you use to switch on a lighter. Okay. Also, mixed oxides of lanthanoids are as catalyst in petroleum cracking. They are used as good catalyst obviously because transition elements are good catalysts because of they can adopt multiple oxidation state. They have uh, empty d and f orbital for the case of lanthanoids, you can say. And you can see some individual lanthanide oxides are used as phosphorus in television screens and also similar to fluorescing surfaces. That is kind of to give you the color picture as these are colored compounds. And that's it. Okay, I hope you understood everything. Just go through this part and read the textbook.